the story.
Yeah, if anyone's good at throwing wrenches into the machine, it certainly is the BBQ Olivers. And we are now on to Summoner's Rift for game number 1, SK Telecom against the BBQ Olivers for our final match of the night. And of course, the final match of this round of 8 as well. See whether SKT can continue the phenomenal form, whether they are going to trip. BBQ not with any strange drafting choices this time around. Feeling very, very normal, usual stuff. Hokong, I guess, on the top lane, Poppy is something that it's slightly out of left field, but not unthinkable. Oh, there we go. That's our first damage to come out from BBQ, winning the game already.
It's a micro victory, but you'll take a micro victory.
You certainly will.
Against SK Telecom T1. Speaking of SKT, you talked a bit about the draft. They do have strong lanes. I wouldn't necessarily say that full priority is there from mid lane, given that Orianna can outrange. But I think shove-wise in the early game, maybe a small advantage. Yeah. The problem is that if you freeze the wave in an awkward spot on the Lissandra, she can actually have to overextend just to CS, and that can be tricky. Regardless, all 3 lanes are in a pretty decent spot. Top great, mid lane okay, but it's better in the early game. Bot lane can be abused if you take a bad trade. The fact that Varus has such long range on his harass. But all this is being discussed so heavily because if SKT could have 3 winning pressure lanes, it means that Zac will get a free farming phase, and then Zac will do the heavy work later, while the team comp from SKT can fight well on 1 item as well. So you bridge yourself very well if things go to plan for Zac, but the Zac minigame has been there, like we mentioned, in multiple LCK finals. It could be there again, because Malice is definitely looking at a very low presence enemy jungle.
Well, is he though? Because I guess this is Clid, who's cut his teeth in China, and we've seen that players like Peanut can utilize the Zac from as early as level 3 to decimate his opponents with such a long engage range that he does have available to him. I'm excited to see what Clid can actually do relatively early in this one with the Zac, because of course Zephyr was saying that they had this pick prepared. This is something that they're used to playing with in scrims, I guess. So we'll see what he is going to be putting forward. At the moment, level 2, and with no sights set on jungling just yet, you can see indicating that he's going to go for the Raptor camp into his red buff.
Alice actually gone for full clear top side, red buff into going into the Krugs, and now taking out his Raptors. So the level 3 taken very, very quickly with no scuttle because of the extra experience loaded into the Krugs. See where he's going to next. This is what you see so often against a Zac. Push in the wave, go down and put down some vision, track the Zac wherever possible. And Malice will get a Scuttle Crab overall, so it should end up being camp for camp. So that's a small early advantage to the Zac, who's wanting to avoid the enemy insects at every opportunity.
Yeah, really interesting that we've got our first Rift Scuttler being taken after 3 minutes actually comes in, as Wind taking one of the worst trades possible. But as you alluded to in our previous series, Papa Smithy, there aren't very many good trades that you can take against Lucian at the moment. So probably going to be okay with still being alive. As now Battle Down's going to get Marta back towards Teddy. This bottom lane really being... We knew that SKT was going to look great, but I wasn't quite expecting Teddy and Marta to be this good this quickly.
Yeah, they're definitely impressed for a debuting duo lane that could have, differing expectations of how to play the lane. Teddy's kind of had a motley crew of supports. He's had so many different supports, even though he's played 4 regular seasons, so 2 years worth of play. He's had 3 supports, Snowflower into Wraith into Nova. We've all had kind of different ideas on how to play the lane. I think Marta's definitely the rich man Snowflower when it comes to an aggressive laner who's always looking to take advantage of the enemy. Both of them Thresh gods, of course. But Marta, the OG and the man with the skin, so that ends the discussion there.
I feel like a lot of the repertoire of supports Teddy's played with, though, do sort of fit into Marta's wheelhouse. I mean, Wraith's Alistair was fantastic in a similar way to Marta's as well, being very, very aggressive.
I remember Wraith as a Lux-only player, so...
Hey, I also remember Marta as a Janna-only player, so I don't know. I think it's interesting seeing Teddy evolve through all of the different supports that he's had, and we are going into CPM mode, so that does mean another pause to come in this series as well, but it does mean that we can now sort of break down how this match is going to unfold as well, because I think that BBQ now just playing straight up League of Legends against SKT, things are much harder. I was expecting in the draft for things to be a little bit more weird, but now I'm skewing it even.
The series is young.
That is true. That is true. There could even be a 3rd game.
See, my issue, because Clid has taken the ultra defensive path of I'm not even going to try and take one of those scuttles. I don't clear it very fast as Zach, so I'm just going to take all my camps. I'll get level 4 anyway. He's taken that very defensive approach, and then he evolves into, like we say, a threat on the backline, and on a simple level, an Aftershock abuser. And then we have also the mid laner is an Aftershock champion. The top laner is R.8. If the Kha'Zix doesn't get going, who are we killing is the problem that he's going to have, right? That's the big struggle you have against double Aftershock. It's why Kha'Zix in a tank meta kind of had to get going early or would struggle, is that can be a real problem there. Getting a little update, we're back into the game. Again, it sounds like it was a hotkey issue like we had in our first game.
Clid had a little bit of a hotkey
no
issue
technical issues on Christmas, thank you.
Yep.
No lumps of coal for us.
No
just
toilet issues
clean
either.
League of Legends. I almost call it League of Legends.
League of Legends?
Yes.
I was thinking maybe there was a League of Legends joke in there, but there even isn't one
That's
of those.
coming later in the time.
Yeah, it is. It is. Excited for that one. Going to be up against Freaks. Excited to see what a Freak is going to be like as well. In fact, seeing all of our LCK teams seems like a Christmas present that's going to be doled out over the next few days.
It's a quirk of the system that we've had. Today is the 6th match day, and there's still 4 teams to debut.
Yeah.
On the big stage, 2 in the same match, Afrika versus Griffin, and then we still have not seen Kingzone or LCK Summer reigning champions, KT Rolster.
Which is a very new-look team as well. In fact, I feel like Kingzone looks a little bit more like KT Rolster than KT Rolster does at this point in time.
Whole lot of weird stuff going on in the future, but we got to keep our wits around us for SKT T1 against BBQ. Farming phase going decently. Again, I like the Varus Braum in the early trades here, and Lucian just an early back, so about even in the trades going on there. Poppy is going for the old build against R.8, just try to build into the Bramble Vest and be okay. Doesn't hurt him as much as it used to. It used to be Bramble Vest's hard counter for R.8.
Yeah.
He's a little bit happier now that the armor scaling is a little bit more than the flat damage. Now, here is the
teleport is going to come in, and Clid tries to find the stretching strike, but not going to have it just yet. But just getting his eye in. That's absolutely fine. Stretch Armstrong has some recharge time and then will be available again.
And a lot of SKT fans learning more about Clid after his Ding Dong Gaming days were kind of missed by a lot of people. Did not make it to Worlds, of course. I note that he had the option to take SKT T1, Zach, and chose not to. So will not be using Blank's World skin in this game.
I wonder whether that is a BM statement or just saying that he very much likes the purple one, which was in fact Cuz's debut skin as well.
Find out more and more as we see Clid play over the course of LCK Spring 19. In this game, Malice evolved claws, so he's definitely going to have some nice pressures. Here's Baker.
Yep, right behind as well as 4 members on the bottom side of the map. This should be the double kill as first blood goes to Teddy. The second does as well, and he's on a roll yet again. Make that 13 kills without dying so far in the KeSPA Cup.
And those boots were made for roaming on the side of the Lissandra. Merc treads into Ari, roams to the bot lane, super clean. No 5-man W, but a 2-man one guaranteed. Baker comes in. It seems like their wits weren't around them. Duo lane here from BBQ. Zach comes in. He's kind of icing on the top of the cake. It's a tasty cake. It's a positive one for SKT.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. And starting it off so early on as well, meaning that Clid in the jungle now has 2 assists behind him. Hasn't even been back yet. He's going to take this Rift Scuttler and then possibly go home or possibly go for a dragon or something like that. He's at full health at this point in time.
Oh, and what a tragedy. It was as the Varus just come back to lane. The lane was being frozen, and then the Varus was ganked, and he lost so many minions into the turret. It's an 18 CS lead out of nowhere, and 5 minutes 22 into this series, it was 1 hour deathless for Teddy in the KeSPA Cup. How long will that extend is the question we have to ask.
He already has a 500 gold bounty,
and
there's another gank. The kidnap comes in. See you later, Wind. This should be the 3rd kill for Teddy. And I didn't know that the KeSPA Cup was going to be the Teddy show, but I'm liking it so far.
And my favorite carnivore jungler from Clid is the Zach, apparently. 3 assists already this game. Still around the bot side. The return gank is pulled off. No Lissandra, no problem. A couple of turret checkpoints as well. And already the bot lane is on fire for the side of BBQ.
Yeah, and Teddy's on fire just in general for SKT. As we have a look at this one again, pretty textbook Zach.
Well,
as,
that's what happens.
Despite the flash, he's still dead.
And that's what happens when the Unbreakable is down. The Zach is already level 6. Actually, he's close to level 7. Got the ping at the end of that. Do you even return bot lane? The answer from Wind and Zeus is no. And this turret is going to be 1 checkpoint at best. An extra 25 armor and MR. Might not be enough to stop anything. And another one of these issues of the Ori is, yes, we said outrangers can out-trade Lissandra. Well, first Lissandra went down bot lane and roamed on the Ori. And Orianna, wave control, not the strongest in the mid game. The counter roaming so hard, which is more of a quarterback mid laner, not Alessandro. Interesting impact. Here we go, though.
Yeah, the shockwave does come in. It's a bit of a sombrero on top of the Kha'Zix, but not enough damage available here against Faker. The Aftershock, just too much durability available as now Mata, he's going to get out, give full first turret blood gold over to Teddy, and Teddy's going to have just all of the money in the universe.
Now, come on, Observer. Do what we want. Ping over here.
Show me
First
the gold.
brick goes. He's a 700 bounty.
He's
at
almost
9
50
minutes.
CS ahead.
Here it is. He's double. He's more than double.
More than double.
Oh.
5.3k versus 2.5.
We haven't had a new Horizon in a while.
Do we call this the Teddy Horizon?
I mean, he is the Fountain Laser. We'll give him a bit more time, but the Immortal Teddy, also a possibility. It feels bad because,
Yeah.
of course, in the jungle, I can't really reclaim that title.
I just want to
but,
make. I want to make the play school reference of being Big Ted.
Well, he is certainly Big Ted. If this Teddy shows up, you are not hugging it. You are getting the hell out of the room.
Yeah, this is the biggest Ted that you have ever seen. Faker in mid just farming things out. He's done his job. He's managed to get his 80 carry fed, and now they get on the back of Teddy and win the game, I guess. Seems to be the new playstyle here for SKT.
They would like to get every jungle camp. Mata has gone to old Samsung White Days and put down wards in old camps. That's supposed to be what BBQ's doing to find the Zac. This is to find the Kha'Zix. They're ready to take down anyone, and Klid will just slowly take down this Rift Herald. Get a bit of help from Mata so they can attack both sides. And that will mean that this 3,700 gold lead is likely to balloon very quickly.
And that's also a ward line that any coach would just be so excited about as well. You can see 4 wards making their way up from just the bottom side of the mid lane all the way up to the top with a ring around the Rift Herald. That is probably the safest Rift Herald take at 10.5 minutes in the game that I have ever seen. And it's only going to help propel SKT even further forward. Teddy
Can they
pushes
go
up.
much more further forward, Atlas, based on this mini-map? The answer may be no.
I don't know. They're not in the enemy fountain yet. I think there's still
Give it time.
space to go.
Give it time.
Yeah, I think Mata will be definitely face first into the fountain if they get there.
Teddy has gotten so many turret checkpoints this game. We've seen games where the Rift Herald wasn't even used until after 14 minutes. There may be 2 turrets killed pre-14 minutes and a Rift Herald charge.
And I feel like the Rift Herald could just go into the mid lane as well, and they'll get all 3 of
I
the
know.
outer turrets by before. What the heck?
I don't think that's... I didn't think that was possible.
That's
I think
too
Riot
much
actually
money.
made it impossible. They tried to make it impossible to take down all 3 outer turrets and get all the turret checkpoints. And yet, it may be redefined by the Dream Team, as now Teddy has another 460 gold. Great.
Yeah, and still has a 50 CS advantage. 3-0-0. As far as entering a lane is concerned, I feel like Wind is probably in one of the worst positions possible when it comes to facing up against his Joy lane, and he's dead again. I think that's just a sign that things are going very poorly.
There was just no time for a eulogy, Atlas. He was already dead. He lived his life and then it ended. That was the story for that particular respawn, the Varus. Ooh, 800 gold bounty now. On to Teddy.
I was
Klid comes
searching-
mid lane, and how about that Rift Herald charge? They have pretty good aggressive vision, given that Lucian and Rakan are face checking, and Klid says, you know what? I might get criticized by Coma if I channel it in the river. I'm going to channel it next to my turret.
thinking that, and he is going to do so. Teddy comes in, picks up the last couple of minions. They'll get rid of this minion wave as well as the
Can
charge
we
is
get
set up.
pre-14-minute 3 turrets?
Good God. Well, I mean, Shelly's here whacking away at this one. We've only got 2 more of the turret plates to come in. And it's 13 minutes on the dot.
Yeah.
I think they'll take a dragon as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything that BBQ can possibly do? I don't think so.
We saw a best of 3. SKT saw an all-you-can-eat buffet, apparently, and they take everything on the map. This is an ultra decimation, is what we would call this.
Ultra decimation.
Yes.
Wow, when you have to search for phrases like that. 8.3k versus 3.5 of his opponent is Teddy.
Can we remake on that?
Well, I mean, BBQ will say yes. SKT will say probably that they're probably happy to do it again.
The funny thing is, you know, if you're LS trying to pick up the pieces, even if you do the VOD review afterwards, they made some mistakes, but not many.
I would not show it to BBQ at all. I think
You
it's just
have
be
to learn, Atlas.
PTSD.
Just like when you have a bad cast and you listen back to it and you're like, oh, I sound awful there, or oh, that was not the right point to make.
That's true.
You have to watch it back, because what you'll be struck by is, yes, there was some duo lane mistakes, but there weren't that many mistakes in this game, and there was a lot of min-maxing by SKT. This is definitely the Idiot's Guide to patch 824B, written by Coma and also, of course, Zephyr on the side of SKT. And we should give a shout out to Coach Fly, who came over from Jin Air Green Wings as well. It is now a 6,700 gold lead. They take over all of the map wherever they want. Turns out they don't need vision when you have this many items. And we never mentioned Poppy's name because she's been chilling.
Yeah. Kong just says, I don't know what's been happening on the rest of the map, but I think it's bad. So head under the sand, please. And you put Coma together with Marta.
You put a turret down
Engage is going to come down, and the kidnap is going to be all she wrote for Zeus. Nowhere that he can go. Chains of Corruption not corrupting anything on the side of SKT. The flash in from Marta gets the double knock up, and look at the damage availability from SKT. He's not even going to go down as the hula hoop to celebrate there from Autumn. That is not what you want to see, but understandable from a BBQ that is just in shambles.
And it was 4v5 as well. Why would Urgot join? He's too busy playing for his own lane. Is Khan. They continue to push up the mid lane here. You look for anything to salvage this game for BBQ, and there's nothing, Atlas. We're all watching on around the world on Christmas Day in awe. The Christmas present from the side of SKT is how to play League of Legends optimally, and it's been some optimal League of Legends that's led to BBQ, understandably, just watching on to dirty wombos like this.
Yep. I feel like Teddy's birthday is at the same time as Jesus, based on this this game, because good Lord, is he having a celebration for himself.
We call Faker God. That does mean that Jesus could come into the picture as well.
That's true, and he should probably be on the same team, if we're saying teams are like families.
I guess Death is probably closer to a lamb of God as an alpaca.
I feel like we might
I have to provide analysis for something, Atlas.
I just feel like we might get into trouble, you know. And it is
this is KeSPA. This is not a Riot broadcast.
No,
They've got no power here.
It's a special religious day today, which maybe I don't know. That being said, I mean, SKT is being very disrespectful to barbecues right now, and I guess we can.
We're two Australians, and we know a thing or two about barbecues.
Damn right we do, especially on a day like today.
Oh yeah,
King of Barbecues Day.
Well, you know, when the Aussie accent comes out, then things have gone to...
When Papa brings out the "oh yes," that's
well, see, the
when
problem is all my other Australianisms involve swearing. So, I got oh yeah and yeah, nah, and bah. That's all I got.
What about all right? As gone.
It's amazing how 20 years of living in Australia gets reduced to Crocodile Dundee references, but it's all I got. Sorry, guys.
Oh, is it a knife, though? Squid's going to find himself control ward. We're going to bring it back here as the control ward line for SKT is continuing to look absolutely beautiful. 17 minutes in,
the
have
game
complete
pace
control on everything.
It's also the unexpected perfect game of they even got all the turret checkpoints.
They got all the turret checkpoints, both the Rift Herald and the Dragon at the same time. And they might even win before 25 minutes.
It does feel like you're being... You know when you feel like you've watched the perfect movie and then a movie beats that? This is like the ultra-perfect game. Is a possibility here, something that is so rare. You know, some people object to how we use Flame Horizon for 100 CS advantage when it used to be 100 CS in the laning phase, but the game changed, and so the term changed with it. Does this become the new perfect game or a perfecter game, or do we have to find a new adjective? We don't know yet. They haven't won it. They haven't gone deathless as an entire team, but they're on course. It's just BBQ just missed out on Christmas dinner, and SKT have had 3 or 4 helpings already.
Yeah. I guess BBQ Olivers may serve turkey as well, and SKT really wanted some and paid for the premium because they seem to be getting their money's worth here against BBQ in this game 1. Man. And to be Hokong as well on the top side as this Poppy, who's pretty much been fine, you know, he's been farming it out. Things are okay as the turret in the mid lane. The inhibitor turret, double knock-up, double kidnap from Cleared as 4 members of SKT under the turret will deliver Petty another kill. Zeus goes down. It's cleared down to the passive so perfectly, tanking the turret as the bounce in comes down, but it is just not enough. It's Khan that eats him up. Oh God, there is just no wrong that SKT can do, and at 18.5 minutes, they take their first inhibitor.
BBQ are diving in just to stop the perfect game, just to get something on the board. Even a single kill will do. We watched the replay here, and we talked about how games are different when you have eyes on Zac, and when you do not, they don't got eyes on anything other than their health bars going down so quickly, whether it's under turrets or out in the open. They get the bloblets out, so it's a moral victory for the side of BBQ. slow solo on this Drake. Back away, the 10,000 gold lead came mighty early, and SKT just have too many items. The difference between Wind and Teddy is hard to watch.
And it's always been, you look at the 20-minute mark, and I feel like it's evolved constantly over time, and 10,000 gold was always the insurmountable point. I feel like it's even worse than that now. In this current meta, if it's 10,000 gold lead at 20 minutes, there's almost absolutely no way you can possibly win. And SKT were at that at about 17.5.
And the reason why that kind of makes sense, Atlas, is that there's so much gold in the game, it feels like everyone's getting a participation award. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
You let your mid laner room? Don't worry, mate. Here's 160 gold for a checkpoint. No, they actually got everything, and got a lead. And there was no counter things available to side of BBQ.
All of the comeback mechanics haven't been utilized because in the jungle, there's a lot of comeback mechanics in the camps. They can't get their camps. Comeback mechanic in the bounties, they haven't got a kill. There's so many things that Riot has put into the game to help teams in this position, but if you can't get there, it's even worse.
We went from soccer to AFL. If you miss, don't worry, you get a single point. It's still something. And yet, no behinds even here on the side of BBQ. Unfortunately, only a gold lead to show there as the culling is pretty monstrous already, but unbreakable. A nice tool to answer it. Teddy, there's 3 of them there, mate.
God, the double tap looked like an ability. That was ridiculous. Hokong taking a lot of damage here from Khan, but Khan just disdaining towards him, having a good time. Does have himself that shield available as well. And now you can see SKT can set themselves up in any brush that they would like and choose to come forward and kill absolutely anyone on the side of BBQ. Hard to push in here at this stage of the game just because it's so early. You know, we just don't quite have enough turret damage, but with this dive coming in from Klid, looking for the stretch arm, Strong does get the pullback onto Zeus, but that is just going to secure this turret, not going to get any kills onto BBQ at this particular point.
Super Minion pushing in mid. Urgot hoping the Poppy will leave so he can try to take down this last inner turret. Again, killing the Poppy really, really hard. Doesn't have Ignite at the moment. It is Faker, and he actually gets dodged by the ultimate there by Malice.
Yeah, thankfully Malice does go invisible to save his own life. Not wanting to fall down yet again as Klid flashing forward, gets another double kidnap here into the backline, right on top of the grand entrance. It's another hula hoop in celebration there from Autumn as the inhibitor is going to go down the second, and now SKT looking for the game. 10-0, 12,000 gold lead, 7 turrets to none, 2 dragons to nothing. It's taken everything from BBQ, and they're looking to finish the game right now. Pre-22 minutes, Faker dives forward. That's the fear beyond death. The fear to come in as well at the end. Hokong goes down. It's Klid turning golden as a puddle underneath this turret as Malice jumps forward. Can't get any of the kills. And the Nexus to fall down. Perfect game from SK Telecom T1 in the KeSPA Cup in their second match.
But somehow perfect game